Happy 4th of July. Want to get your arms in shape, want to get your shoulders in shape, looking good and healthy. I'm Lori Michael with Lori Michael Fitness, specializing in senior fitness in the home. With the help of my friend Kim, we're going to show you a couple of really good exercises to do. Just make sure that you pay close attention to the details and you'll be great. Okay, here we go.
Okay, so we're going to start with the inside of the shoulder with the rotator cuff muscles. And to do that, we are going to utilize a loop band and a tube. We'll start without any band at all first. We're going to start with an exercise I like to start with, calling it Wonder Woman. So hands at your hips, elbows out. We're just going to go through the motion. All Lori's going to do is lift her forearms, but her upper arms stay where they are, and then come back down. Notice her hands come narrow, and as her arms lift, the hands go wide. Let's do that one more time. If you really notice, the elbows and the upper arm are staying right in place. So let's pick up a long tube and do that. She's going to hold the handles and wrap the tube twice around her hand so that we're shortening up the distance of the tube between one hand to the other. Okay, so start in that Wonder Woman position, and we'll start without adding resistance at first. So once again, she's just going to lift her forearms and back down. And lift her forearms and back down. Now let's lift the forearms and pause. She's going to stretch the tube outward and push the elbows forward and then release. Lift the forearms. Stretch the tube outward. The key point is to push the elbows forward as the band stretches and release. You'll feel that deep inside your shoulder. And one more time. Lift, stretch, and release. Now you can lift and stretch at the same time. Let's do two more. Lift and stretch, pushing the elbows forward. And one more time. Lift and stretch. And that's going to get deep inside the shoulder to that strong stability muscle, the rotator cuff. Okay, let's do another option for the rotators and pick up the loop band. But you're also going to pick up two small items, like maybe a towel, and put it underneath each arm. And hold that against your rib cage. That's to ensure we're not using the outer muscles, the deltoid, and we're still using the rotator cuff. So Lori's hands are opened. She's just going to stretch the tube, rotating the arm outward and back in. You don't have to worry about how to rotate the shoulder outward. You just have to hold the upper arm against your rib cage. Do a couple more of those. Just stretch and pause. And you can come in a little slower than you go out. So maybe out for the count of 1, 2, and in for 1, 2, 3. Do that one more time. That's just to make sure the tube is not pulling your hands together and you're doing it. Okay, so those are two good exercises for the rotator cuff. Let's go for the front of the shoulder. We can go with a light weight, nothing too heavy, maybe a 5-pound, a 3-pound if that's what you have, an 8-pound, probably the most. We're just going to turn the palms inward. That puts you in a slightly rotated out position for the shoulder, which is important that we don't impinge anything deep inside. And just with one arm at a time, lift it straight out in front of you. And back down. And then the other arm. So we're just going to alternate the arms straight out in front and back down. If you're looking into the mirror, you want to make sure that keeping your neck nice and long, shoulders away from the ears, sternum nice and opened. Lifted in the sternum, wide across the chest. Another alternative to this is to bend the elbows, bringing the hands towards the shoulders, up a little bit higher. And you're going to do an overhead press. Bend one arm and lift and lower. Bend, lift, and lower. Notice that Lori's elbows are slightly wide of the shoulder. We're flaring out just slightly, but still keeping the elbows out in front. We don't have to lift very high. Shoulder height, or even a little bit lower. A nice, strong, straight wrists. And one more time. Good job. For the middle shoulder, that was the front of the shoulder, what we call the anterior deltoid. For the middle shoulder, we're going to bend the elbows to 90 degrees. And just do a lateral lift up to the side. Now, I'm going to move over to the side as Lori does the exercise, because I want you to show you that she's holding the elbow slightly forward of the shoulder as she lifts. The elbow is just slightly forward. It's maybe 25, 30 degrees in front of the shoulder, and you don't lift high on this. No higher than the shoulder, and lower is fine too. Then we get the shoulder and not the neck. We get the neck when it gets too heavy and the shoulders come up towards the ears. Okay, for the back of the shoulder, let's grab the long band again, the long tube. We're gonna hold the tube out in front of us with the palms down. Now we could do this with the palms up, but it's a little bit more rotator. With the palms down, we're gonna get the back of the shoulder, and all you're gonna do is stretch and return. Stretch. Once again, I like to come in a little bit slower than I go out so the band isn't in control. You're controlling with the back of the shoulders. Keeping the sternum nice and lifted, open and wide across the chest, whether the arms are opening or closing. We're using the back of the shoulders here. Do 2 more. Palms down, arms wide and control forward. 1 more time. And nice job. So that's the inside of the shoulder, the front, the middle, and the back.
And how many repetitions do we want to do?
Let's do anywhere between 8 and 12, and you can do multiple sets as well. 3 sets of 10, 3 sets of 12.
Or to fatigue. Have fun with it. Please leave a comment, share. Love to hear from you. See you next month. Bye-bye.